was billed as the ultimate sports podcast.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
Everybody has been waiting.
I'm God gifted.
He's a bull. I'm the matador.
This is the Weekend Guy Podcast, and it begins now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Weekend Guy Podcast. It's another week. It's an exciting week. It's Bok Week.
Yay. Welcome back, guys, to the Weekend Guy Podcast. Welcome to our subscribers, our viewers, as well as our international viewers.
All right, mate. How was the weekend? How was the game?
It was good.
What was the score?
1-0. We lost.
You lost?
Yeah, man. We were humbled, man.
What happened?
So we were on a 5-game, if not a 6-game winning streak.
Yeah, I remember you like 2 points from the lead or something.
Indeed. You know, and when you're on a winning streak, you go in there with a bit too much confidence. But as any game in sports, we were humbled, you know.
1-0.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. It was one of those games where they were playing direct and we knew what they were doing, but we just couldn't stop it.
Must
and
be
they had
kidding me.
they had one opportunity and they scored, and then you're chasing the game.
You guys
chasing
lost.
the game.
Damn. So
Yeah.
what's the league looking like?
Still top 2.
Oh, okay.
But
The guys have stretched the lead that one.
Yeah, by a few points, but we were 1 point behind with the game in hand.
Oh,
But now,
okay.
obviously, we're probably now 3 points behind, but with the game in hand.
Oh,
But
damn.
fortunately for us, top 2 get promoted, so that's the
Oh, that's the nice one then.
yeah,
At least then you guys are not in
that's
trouble.
the aim. That's the
Yeah,
aim.
you
But
guys
we
are
were
not-
humbled, mate. I won't lie. Aye.
Hey,
Yeah.
talk
I
about
think
people being humbled, man. It's been a humbling weekend in sports as well, man.
It is.
This F1 thing is starting to get on my nerve, actually. I think Lewis made a comment about Friday that Red Bull should be stopped from developing their car.
Well, if things go as they're currently going,
Yeah.
Red Bull should start working on the 2024 car.
They've already done it.
Because they've wrapped up the season.
They're actually in the 2026 car. Max was already complaining about the 2026 car. They're changing regulations.
Now look at how far ahead they are.
Yeah,
So based on their own simulations and predictions, they know that 2024 will dominate, 2025 will dominate.
Yeah.
So let's look at 2026 already. But it goes back to my prediction, my brother Uguti. Red Bull are going to make history.
Oh my
They
God!
are
yeah.
going 23-0, whether it's Max winning all the other races or Checo. But Red Bull is winning every single race this season.
It's looking more and more likely, actually.
Indeed.
I think Silverstone is a fast track. People are talking about bringing upgrades, but no, Red Bull is still in a league of their own.
Yeah, and I think the unfortunate part also is all the packages that the teams are bringing forward now only work in specific tracks, but it's not a solid upgrade that is going to be competitive consistently. And that's the unfortunate part right now with F1, that the gap between Red Bull and everyone else is so big. So every Sunday is a procession in terms of who's coming second, because we all know Red Bull's going to be first.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who sleeps during races.
Indeed. That was me on Sunday. I won't lie.
Yeah, because, I've been sleeping through races. I think that's why I actually stopped watching, because I feel like now, if I'm going to watch and fall asleep, it's a waste of time for me. Like,
indeed, because
I
now
could
it's
be doing
become
something
predictable.
else.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know it's either Max or Checo who's going to win.
Yeah.
And we now all we're watching for is who's coming
And
second.
and remember in Austria, they had that first lap battle, Max and Checo. And I was like, okay, take him out.
Yeah.
Take him out.
And that was in the sprint race.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
That was interesting for a little while.
And then
But
Checo,
team
took
orders.
his place. Yeah.
Team orders. And on Sunday, the way it played out, you knew that it's only going to be interesting first 2 laps. But the moment Max got through unscathed, everyone was chasing. And funny enough, you know the confidence, and I'll call it also arrogance that Max has, which rightfully so, given the car that he has. The man had everything this weekend.
He always has everything. He took everything. Fastest lap.
And
Sprint.
yes,
It took sprint pole,
that's what I
fastest
wanted.
lap in the sprint. It took race pole, fastest lap in the race.
Yeah, and the fact
full
that
package.
he was 22 seconds ahead. Before his last pit stop.
Yeah, and then you like set the fastest lap there or something.
Because like what else is there on offer? You know, that is also a message to everyone around to say, look, I'm in a different league than you guys. This beast of a car that I have, we are untouchable, and the FIA won't do anything.
You see, this is where we have a point of no agreement with the FIA. If based on what happened in 2021, post-race results were actually affected in this race. Everybody got a 10-second penalty. They were able to change the race.
30 seconds.
Yeah, they were able to change the race result, the race, whatever.
Yes.
But why couldn't they do that in 2021?
And this is what grinds my balls so much right now about the FIA right now. They want to play and they want to police every race. But when it really mattered, they were no-show.
They did nothing.
They were no-show. And more than anything else, I think Formula One fans would have not been upset at the current dominance had that title not been handed over.
Of course, yeah. Of course. It would from last season, then Red Bull would have gotten the title by merit anyway.
Indeed.
So now it's like it's crap, and it's crap.
Yeah.
Like it's so demotivating to watch F1.
Exactly, and it's currently lost its appeal. Yeah, and as an avid fan, you watch because you love the sport.
Yeah,
but it's not competitive.
No, for me, I love the sport, but there is nothing to watch.
True.
I'm actually worried about the US audience, the new audience they got. They're gonna lose them.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to have someone dominating 23 and all.
Yeah.
Because it makes the whole spectacle boring.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I think then with Red Bull going 23 and all, as the races are progressing, I'm starting to really believe this shit.
Slowly but
Although
surely.
it's crap, but I'm starting to believe it.
Slowly but surely. Because unless, as I said, unless both cars have a mechanical failure or they take each other out, I don't see any way.
It's over.
Yeah.
Literally.
They can start focusing on their 2024 car.
They are in 2026. 2024 is done.
Yeah.
They didn't count. Max was not complaining about the 2024 car. They were complaining about the combustion engine being introduced in 2026. And then Max was saying that he was testing it in Monza, and it was like on the straight, the engine, like I don't know, something's happening on the straight because Monza is a very long straight.
Yes.
So something about the other companies being able to get more power. They were saying in the 2026 engine, which is a combustion engine.
Yeah.
The legacy manufacturers will be able to generate more power from the engines because it's what they normally are used to. That's what I'm saying. Because now we're running a combustion hybrid electric / half combat. Yeah. So now we're saying that the legacy car makers, that's when they're actually going to shine because that's where it's like the Merc and the Ferraris. That's what they specialize in, making powerful engines. So he was like, no, it's like 2026 we're going to be very, very, very hard for them. But remember, they are testing a 2026 car. 2025
2023.
2023. 2024 is done.
Yeah.
2025 is done.
Yeah.
So what kind of?
But also, I take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Because for Red Bull to be so dominant, they're doing something right at that factory.
Yeah.
Right? For them to be giving feedback on a 26 car says that they've got data that they are looking at and that's reliable.
Yeah.
Meaning that they are well ahead of the engine manufacturing process.
Yeah.
So maybe it's also them trying to be humble and say, hey, 2026, trying to deflect the attention right now. But Red Bull never does anything half-heartedly.
No, they don't.
So I take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. And another thing, AlphaTauri is going to be renamed.
It's about time. It's about time.
Red Bull 2 or Toro Rosso, back to Toro Rosso.
But also, for me, it made no sense why you have a sister team and they are so shit.
They shouldn't even have a sister team.
Exactly.
They shouldn't even have a sister team.
From a regulation perspective,
don't understand
why
F1 is actually allowing this thing to happen.
True.
Because now it's clearly evident. or based on the conspiracy theory we had in the previous episode, I think 2 episodes back,
Yes.
that these guys are doing something with AlphaTauri, taking off the...
Wind
Something is
tunnel
happening
time.
between the two teams there.
Yeah, the wind tunnel time. And
Yeah.
I agree. But I just hope that they sell the entire stake.
No, they're not selling. They're just rebranding. They're not leaving. They're not selling the team. They're just
But-
rebranding.
And the
they
problem
said,
continues to exist.
and they said they will push up to the limit of the F1 regulations when it comes to having 2 teams. So which means they're looking at the rule book and pushing as much as they can. where they can push.
To
Because
the
remember, to
benefit
test the
of Red
floor,
Bull.
if you don't have enough wind tunnel time, you can just take a part of a floor. Take
And
it to
go test
AlphaTauri. Yeah, go test it at AlphaTauri because they have more time, like a part of it.
Yes,
Doesn't have to be everybody doesn't have to know that.
true.
But see, hence this is where the advantage comes in. They shouldn't be having 2 teams.
Indeed.
In
Because
the
all the other manufacturers just supply parts,
Mm.
right? And yes, above board, Red Bull Power, gives AlphaTauri some parts.
Yeah.
But there's some
No.
IP being shared between the
Obviously, come on, can't be.
two. There's some IP being shared.
Because remember, AlphaTauri is not really shit per se. They're like top 10.
This year
The top 10.
Yeah.
They're like top 10, to know there's only like top 10.
Yeah.
You see, I think he's being maintained. Like they're being maintained. Because if they start showing like their true potential.
True potential.
It
It
was
starts
like-
raising questions.
Yeah,
like,
like, okay, how
I'm
possible
with
is
you.
this?
I'm
You know what I'm
with
saying?
you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So I feel like, yeah, they do have it, but, Red Bull is like squeezing it a little bit, Yeah.
I agree. I
So,
agree.
prediction still 23-0, standing by it?
23-0. All we're hoping this weekend is Mercedes, Ferrari, and Aston show more of a competition to them for a longer period of the race.
Mm-hmm.
But if you recall last year, it took Max having some debris underneath his car to stop him from being competitive last season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see any change. It's Red Bull 1.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction will be a strong showing from Aston again,
Mm-hmm.
and a better showing
From McLaren as well.
Yeah,
They had a good car.
they had a good car
They're a
last
good
weekend.
car. It's for me, it's like the other teams' upgrades
Mm.
are actually working. Mercedes-Benz upgrade, we're not getting anywhere.
That car's inconsistent.
I don't know what the hell's going on there. Ferrari was like nice this weekend. They're like third in the race now.
But Ferrari, they'll be second in the race with Charles Leclerc this weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend we're gonna give you a classical 6 and 7
Hey.
result. So
Inconsistent as well.
I'm not expecting another good showing from Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because they are inconsistent.
Yeah.
They are. So I'm expecting a good showing from Aston as well as maybe some
McLaren.
improve before McLaren. Mercedes. They should have improved.
I don't know. With Mercedes, they keep on saying the car's gonna get better.
Yeah.
I've never seen a such a team with so many politicians. How many upgrades have been brought, and we've not brought any upgrades. We've not do this because
Mercedes-
Toto actually
yeah.
Lewis was complaining over the radio that hey, this car is shit, and I was like, yo, Lewis, we know, just
Yeah.
drive the car,
Yeah.
stop complaining.
Right now, Mercedes is doing some hard PR. They've got the concept wrong from last year, and it carried over into this year, and they're now plotting to get back in the right direction. But they are plotting and changing the car and testing it in real time, and it works
it's
one
tough.
week, it doesn't.
It's tough.
And unfortunately, they have 8-time world champion. You heard that correct. 8-time world champion on their team.
8-time.
Yeah, who's very demanding and who understands that, look, I don't have a lot of time left in the sport, so we need to get this right. And unfortunately, yeah, they're not getting it
I
right
shouldn't be
as quick as they
surprised. I
can.
wouldn't be surprised if he left actually, because the contract has stalled again. I think for me,
Leave for where though?
no, for Ferrari. I think with Ferrari, that's
That's a
the
better
boost.
situation than Mercedes.
I think that's the boost they need, Ferrari, because I feel like Mercedes, they're done. They're done, like literally. I think Lewis should leave, cut his losses, try and get that 8th world championship.
Yeah.
With another manufacturer, because his input will be much more appreciated than it is at Mercedes at the current moment.
So you believe Mercedes have taken their success for granted and they're not leaning on Lewis's advice?
I think for granted is an understatement.
Okay.
I think those guys have fucked up, like literally.
But more than Ferrari.
Ferrari's got potential.
True, but right
with
now,
with the right
results,
people
Mercedes is better.
but Ferrari with the right people in the right place, correct driver,
Mm.
giving them, certain pointers and so on. I think they could be a beast. They could challenge because they've got potential. I don't know what's up with
Look,
them.
it would definitely shake up the F1 world.
Of
if
course,
Lewis
because
left.
this shit it's fucking boring.
Yeah, no doubt. But also, do you then bring in Lewis Hamilton for Carlos Sainz?
Yeah,
Because Charles Leclerc is the star boy there.
of course. You
Right.
you partner them together, and then
No doubt.
let Carlos Sainz go to Merc.
Yeah, no doubt. But look at this, right? You bring in Lewis, who's a 8-time world champion, over your future and your star boy, Charles Leclerc. Then who's your number one driver?
He learns from him. Do you
think
remember?
Charles will take a?
Of course, it
a
was. I
step
mean,
back?
that's one season. One season learning from Lewis. One season.
So you signed Lewis for one season only.
Yeah, because that's the best you can get from him, and then give him the car to challenge. Then he's done. He's 39. You can't do the Fernando Alonso
Alonso's
thing.
41.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He can't do that. He's not. He's not.
I think he can.
He can try and emulate it. But remember, Alonso was not championship material for many years, and he actually enjoyed that.
Mm.
He was patient enough to enjoy that. Right. He went to top teams, but got a car.
Yeah.
And was never able to challenge for championships.
Indeed.
Went to IndyCar for like a year or so, then came back. So he was able to enjoy the mediocrity of the teams he went to. Lewis won't be able to do that.
But in terms of chances of success, I think he's got higher chance.
At Merc,
Yeah.
Merc is fucking up.
They are. Look, they got the concept wrong, right? And
We should be
we scratched
because
up 2022.
Because now the
and
problem
2023.
with that is that the problem with saying that is that this is Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
a top brand
Mm.
in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to be doing this kind of mistakes.
True.
Just what I'm saying.
Ferrari's not any better.
And for Toto Wolff to approve that bullshit car last year and this year, beginning
yeah.
of this year, for him to actually approve that means for him to actually trust that nonsense that without having the side pods the car can perform better. That was bullshit.
Yeah, look,
This
is a question, yeah.
Yeah, that
on
concept
his
should have been
leadership.
changed. First 5 races of last year already. Okay, guys, let's change concept.
Yeah, it's not working.
But they endured this nonsense for the whole year and carried on this year again. So they're already behind.
Yeah.
So for them, it's just to scrap. But what annoys me the most about Mercedes-Benz, they never fired the person who actually came up with this nonsense.
But, okay, do you then find someone who's delivered you 7 titles in a row for a car that was bad?
It wasn't
1
him,
year?
though. The guy delivered 7 cars in a row, shifted from the F1 to the boating.
Yes.
James Ellison, I think.
Yes.
Then brought in his second in command.
Indeed.
The guy came up with the no concept nonsense.
You know,
Then they didn't fire him. They just swapped roles now. So
Yes.
James Ellison is back in that role. Then the guy went to his role.
true. But now, do you fire the same guy who was part of the winning team? for 7
Yes,
years?
because you need to make a statement. Times are changing. So there's no organization, especially in F1, where you remain stagnant.
True.
The ideas need to be constantly evolving.
I
Hence, you need to
agree.
fire and take the bold decision. Okay, dude, we're letting you go. Then the next person who comes in will come in with a fresh idea and know the stakes. But shit, if I fuck up this car, I'm gone. Do you understand what I'm saying? There, it's like
But it doesn't change the concept.
that's the thing. They're locked
Right?
in. They're locked in the concept.
Yeah, you fire the face, but the concept
It's
is
still there. We're locked in because of the suspension and
Yeah, but for me, right, why I'd keep that guy in the picture is he is the face of the concept. So when we go in a different direction, we need to know what he done so that we don't make the same mistakes.
fuck.
Right?
it's been
Once
bad.
we've locked in on a new concept and we realize it works, then I'm happy to let him go.
But these are the kind of things we should be. Yeah, I'm talking about levels here.
Yeah.
We're talking about a top tier brand here. They're being embarrassed. It's embarrassing. What Ferrari's doing,
every weekend.
what Ferrari's doing, it's embarrassing.
True.
What Merc is doing is embarrassing.
True.
McLaren has recovered. They're
A
like
bit.
coming back a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
Lando, we will see in Silverstone.
But they've been mediocre for the longest time.
Aston Martin, they've
they're
also
still
been
on that
mediocre.
level.
So now, even Alpine, they're better than us.
Yeah.
McLaren, they're better than us as of 2 races back.
Yeah.
Aston Martin has been better than us.
Yeah. But,
So we're like 4th
but also,
or 5th.
I think the most embarrassing thing for the traditional manufacturers is when your customer cars are faster than you. It does not make sense that Mercedes-powered Aston Martin
It's like
is
way
beating-
quicker than Mercedes. So that's the
Exactly.
thing we don't understand.
Indeed, and it happened a few times also with Ferrari and Haas.
Yeah.
How are you being out-qualified by your
But
customer?
where the person you sell the engine to,
Yes.
I don't understand as well. It doesn't make sense.
True.
Doesn't
So,
make
so,
any
so more
sense.
questions need to be asked. But I agree. I think it would make sense for a few positions to be shaken up.
Of course, then the whole organization
But
knows.
not yet. I
'Cause-
think
'cause-
wait
'cause-
until the summer break.
Because at least because some heads needs to roll.
Yeah.
If Toto didn't own the team, was not majority or 33% shareholder, he would be gone.
Do you think his job would have been
Of
in the
course, last season already, would have been fired
line?
already.
After delivering 7 championships in a
Yes,
row?
that doesn't matter. That doesn't count.
Damn.
That doesn't count. What
Damn.
counts
No loyalty.
in F1? Like the drivers in F1, a
Yeah.
driver can drop you any minute right now. Lewis can sign for Ferrari. That's a possibility. You understand?
True.
Although some people think that's off the table, but Lewis can sign for Ferrari.
Would you?
What?
I wouldn't if I was Lewis.
No, because you need to look at what product you're being given.
True, but
Now
also
he's- now
the
he's really
influence
saying-
you have at Mercedes versus the influence you'll have at Ferrari is two different.
You'll have a
things.
positive influence at Ferrari because
Yeah.
it will be
Positive versus a
consistent.
majority. Yeah, no,
No.
majority. He's the big dog at Mercedes.
He'll be a big dog at Ferrari as well. That's the change I'm talking about.
mm.
You see, any organization, they need that extra push,
Mm.
that change. Change is needed, especially in F1. F1 change is needed. It's necessary for the team to keep on performing at a very high rate. It needs that change. They need a change to make a drastic change.
Yeah.
Okay, Lewis, he needs to accept Merck is not going to challenge for the next 3 years.
And unfortunately, he does not have 3 years
You see, he doesn't have 3 years.
to wait.
Yeah, to wait for them to actually come back.
But that works in his favor, though, that it puts Mercedes under pressure.
Yeah, and he said in that concept that this guy is cock. The W13, ne? Carry on the W14. This guy is cock. They ignored him.
Yeah, but now, if they ignored him at Mercedes, what will then Ferrari do? Because they're going to say, you just got you.
Yeah,
You see, and that's my issue of him leaving Mercedes, that the most influence he has will be at Mercedes. So his best interest is to remain with Mercedes.
but even when they sign him though, remember if you sign Lewis Hamilton, you're guaranteeing him a championship-winning car. So now they were talking contractual obligations, guys.
But remember,
I want a championship. If Lewis was to stand up
Ferrari-
and say, guys,
Yeah.
I want a championship. I want an 8th world title. Make it happen. Just give me the car. You need to. That's what you see. That's why Merck. The problem with Lewis, he's been too understanding of his later years in his career.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, the team, guys at the factory. Fuck the guys at the factory, because the guys at the factory are doing shit. They're not doing anything.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Fuck the guys at the factory, because the guys at the factory are not doing shit, developing nonsense.
Yeah, but it's tough. It's tough. But also, I think it's unfortunate that all these struggles are then being highlighted by a dominant opponent
Which
or rival.
there is no chance of catching up to. When have you ever heard that in F1? We have no chance of catching up to Red Bull for the next 2 years. There isn't. It will be 3 years with no chance of no one,
dominating.
not even a single person winning a single race.
But I also called it Tuguti, by the end of these regulations, Max would have had then 5 titles.
yeah, easy walking to the 5 titles. Because remember, Max Verstappen is a very good driver.
Yes.
But he can't be on form for 3 years.
Yeah.
Because if this thing keeps on happening,
But if other cars aren't performing, he then walks through the title. You don't
Yeah.
need to be on form if you have no
yeah,
competition.
next year, same thing. Ne? Only
Because-
2026 where there's a hope.
But also maybe the other cars, in terms of developing in concept, will probably only challenge in 2025 in reality.
In the latter part of 2025, second half of the season. Because 2024, Red Bull will still be ahead, dominating. Merck, they started working on the car now. But my theory is this: even if they can start working on the car now, as long as they don't know what they're doing, they're not going to make it. Like, it seems like they're operating at a level where they look like the engineers, they've been so bamboozled bamboozled by this changing of regulations that they can't. It's beyond them.
They've gone down the wrong route.
It's beyond them. Like, these regulations are beyond Mercedes-Benz. They're going to come to an end 2026. They'll still be beyond them. They're not coming up with anything.
You don't have that much faith.
I don't.
Damn.
I don't. We can't be 6th in Austria or 6th and 7th and 8th. And then, like, we like saying, okay, that's the best we would hope for. Like, okay, there is. What is Mercedes-Benz, the German company, saying when they're hearing this nonsense on the radio?
Yeah, because
the
Daimler
best you could
Chrysler is
hope for.
not too happy about
Yeah,
these
because you need Toto needs to go sit there with them and answer. Dude, what the
what's
fuck?
going on. Yeah,
Yeah, but
because you're
putting our name in the mud.
True, because now when I think of the situation at Ferrari versus Mercedes, last year at least Ferrari had a competitive car. Then they fucked it up from
The strategies and stuff.
strategies,
Yeah.
right? So,
Then they fired the guy.
yeah.
They fired the
Now
guy.
the car has regressed,
Yeah.
right? It's
Because
not the
I think
second
some
one.
engineers have left or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the second fastest car,
Hmm.
but Mercedes has been continuously shit in the
Yeah, like, we're
last
shit.
2 years though.
We're shit.
But isn't that humbling though? Because from a 7-year reign to now you guys being back in the trenches and
We're not saying
win.
that we want to, overhaul Red Bull or whatever.
You'd like to.
Of course, everybody would like to do
Yeah.
that. But what I would like to see is actually forward momentum.
In terms of consistent
Development.
progress and development.
Even
Okay.
if we're slowly catching them,
Yeah.
so that at least by we're in late race 12 now, or 13 or something.
Yeah, we 9 races deep.
9 races deep now. So
Yeah.
at least by race 12, the gap has like decreased a bit.
True.
Now the gap is like stretching. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there is no chance, no matter how developed, no matter what you put in the car, no matter what you change, it's like those guys are on a different planet. But what causes that? What have they done which is so amazing that the other teams can't do? Because they've got the same engine, almost.
Yeah.
Same spec engine.
And that's the brilliance of Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance of that mind. That you are given the same rule book and he's exploited it and designed and made the most out of this concept.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everyone will play catch up.
Fuck. It's fucking annoying. To watch, to see,
Yeah.
now I don't normally go into T-dip, and I don't normally go too deep into F1 politics because of the whole Red Bull dominance. But now Merck has forced me to actually do like a thorough investigation as to these guys. Are they good enough to be Merck engineers? I'm not saying they're not good enough to be F1 engineers.
Yeah, the verdict is out.
Yeah.
The
So
verdict is
audience,
out.
are the Merck engineers good enough to be Merck engineers, not F1 engineers in these new regulations? Because there's a difference. There's a Merck engineer and then there's an F1 engineer. I think now we're operating with F1 engineers and Red Bull is operating
Well,
with
standard.
below standard according to the new regulations.
Okay. I'll put this to our viewers, right? What do you recommend that other teams need to do to stop the dominance?
Yeah, because it's flipping annoying.
Comment and let us know what the other teams need to do.